Vaccinated or unvaccinated? Who is healthier? That's right, we're back on the old Larry D. Cook channel. And I just wanted to point out a funny that a few people have pointed out to me. If you add an A and an R, you have Larry da Crook. Does that actually mean anything? Like he was doing an Illuminati hiding in plain sight type thing all along? No, of course not. Don't be the dumb. It's just a stupid joke. But it is funny. Anyway, let's see what absolute cretinous nonsense we have to deal with from this channel today.
There's this myth going around that...
Oh, it's this lady. We've seen her before. About the same time last year, actually. And well, let's just say her last argument was spectacularly stupid. I can't wait to see what she has today. I hope it's a little bit better. And by better, I don't mean good. I mean even more the dumb.
You know, everybody needs to be fully vaccinated in order for our society to be healthy.
Who says that? Even your most ardent of vaccine proponents know that the whole point of modern vaccine distribution is to bring up the old herd immunity. So the few left who can't have them are basically just as protected as the rest of us. No one, and I mean no one, is saying they should be vaccinated too, because that would be almost as stupid as my big stupid face.
And I have a number of things that I want to say about that.
Are they, I should stop making shit up to get upset about because literally no one said it ever? Yeah, that sounds like a plan. That or at least make up some better stuff. Like, did you know pro-vaxxers come from the moon, have 3 heads, and like to wear coats made from baby skin? No, wait, I said make stuff up, not true facts that are true. Damn it, I always do this.
So, number one, nobody promised us a germ-free world.
No, they didn't. But why would they? And what on earth has that got to do with vaccines? Vaccines don't defend from every bacteria or virus or whatever, and they aren't supposed to. Mostly because that would be really wasteful, seeing as the number of illnesses that are unusual or rare because they either aren't native to your immediate area or just that they are that uncommon, or that they simply are not a threat to 99.99% of the population. No one expects a germ-free world. But did you know we have this practically miraculous, apart from the fact that we know how it works, invention that protects people from the vast majority of the most prevalent and dangerous micro-beasties ever? Amazing, I know. I forget the name right now, but I am sure it will come to me at some point.
I tend to be on the side now of realizing that we have to coexist with some of these germs.
No, you don't. A, because what the hell is wrong with you? And B, because we literally have a way of dealing with the nastiest ones that, by the way, offer no benefit to anything but itself. So why the hell wouldn't you deal with it? It's literally a human compunction to want you and those you care for to live as long and healthy a life as you possibly can. This is what I meant to say when I said what the hell is wrong with you, but it's such a bafflingly stupid statement. It's like saying, well, we're just gonna have to deal with these higher numbers of car fatalities instead of using our freaking seatbelts. Because seatbelts make me uncomfortable when wah.
But more importantly, children who are not vaccinated fully or not vaccinated at all.
Wait. I got loads of jokes for this bit. Why don't they have autism? Because you aren't diagnosed till you're 3. Where do they play? In the playground. What do you call someone who sneezes on one? An assassin. Why are they so good at sports? Because they catch everything. What's the hardest part of raising one? Finding a decent necromancer. What do they have in common with all these jokes? They never get old.
Are some of the most healthy, bright children I've ever seen.
Do you, interact with other, actually vaccinated children? I have a funny feeling that you don't and thus have no point of comparison. And of course, as we always say here at the Sir Sick channel, does you got anything to back that up? Any studies, any proof, any data whatsoever? beyond your own bias of, I really, really want them to be healthier, so I'm just going to assume / pretend that they are, because that's how science totally works.
If you have the opportunity to meet a family that has, perhaps a first and second child that were vaccinated versus their younger siblings.
Oh God, the deep, unsettling implications of that sentence just hit me. So, you're a hypothetical parent and you believe that vaccines am the bad, and they did the bad things to your first kid, #fact, and another for whom not having them will only do good to this new unvaxxed child. That you are so proud of yourself and thus proud of them for not vaccinating. Can you imagine the subtle and not so subtle damage you are now going to inflict on both of them? Because you just aren't going to raise them the same based on this very deliberate choice of your own. I mean, you said it yourself. Being unvaccinated makes kids brighter and more healthy. What are the odds that a parent is going to now make sure that that's the case to justify their choice? Definitely some, I reckon. Maybe not all, maybe not even most, but some, and that fills me with genuine dread just thinking about it.
After the parents kind of woke up to what was happening to their children with the vaccinations.
And okay, so there's the first thing, and then there's this, which will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have a kid, they are vaccinated, and they are autistic. Not a problem, maybe some adjustments, maybe some minor difficulties, but it's fine. Nothing wrong with having an autistic child if you have the right support, but you decide that it happened because of vaccines. Not discover, certainly not figure out, you decided that's the cause. Because no one ever said correlation does not equal causation to you in your entire life. So you think that anything that fits, no matter how remotely, is a fact. Then you have another kid, you don't vaccinate, and they just happen to not be autistic. You see just how right you were, because of your amazing sample size of 2. And ignoring, of course, the vast number of children who are vaccinated and don't have autism. But shh. You must be right, and now you are an anti-vax evangelist, and the world just got a little bit dumber. Fantastic. Thanks for that.
The unvaccinated children are so much healthier. When they come across, let's say, a cold or a flu, they get over it so quickly.
Numbers! Give me some goddamn numbers! I want studies, not testimonies. Nothing but testimonies with you people, over and over again. All I see is your little stories about how you think this, or how you saw that, and that you for some reason kept a perfect track of every child you ever met. Presumably in the infallible notepad of your mighty brain. And you know who got sick when and for how long, etc, etc. Or there's your stories about how you know that the bad thing that happened with your kid happened around the same time as getting vaccines, ignoring the fact that loads of things happen at that time. Funnily enough, including the diagnosis of certain developmental disorders that we won't mention because clearly it's not important that those things happen at basically the same time. They can't be related in that way, only related in the way that I say so.
Whereas, their older siblings can't get over stuff that easily. They have to go to the doctor, they have to get antibiotics, they have to,
Oh God, those poor kids. No, I'm serious. All this stuff keeping them alive and healthy so they have their whole lives ahead of them. Having to put up with the total pair of dipshits they call parents. Can you imagine? I envy the young ones doing their speed run of being unalive.
Whatever it is, they're kind of constantly under some sort of care.
Almost like they are some kind of child in need of guardianship by an adult, as they are not fully grown and thus effectively incapable of looking after themselves properly. But their younger siblings, on the other hand, they have jobs and are productive members of society by age 2. Although they tend to quit their jobs after that and get a sports car. Classic midlife crisis stuff.
But those younger kids that are not fully vaccinated are much, much, much healthier. And we have examples of this.
Oh, wow. Examples. Ugh. Now, what's the betting that this is going to be a set of stories, aka anecdotes, about how this kid was totally healthy or this other one wasn't? At least that's how I remember it. Anyway, what more could you want? This is evidence. That's the word that is the plural of anecdote, for goodness sake.
They've never done...
Now, I don't want to be one of those buttholes who pretends that he knows exactly what people are thinking because of some small body language thing, etc. But that swallow was epic, and I feel that she's about to say something that she doesn't think she should, because maybe it refutes her points or something. I don't know. It's just a bit weird, if you ask me.
They've never done a fully vaccinated versus fully unvaccinated study to present to society.
What? You don't have any studies that back up your claim? You're pulling my leg. I can't believe you literally have no idea what you're talking about. I am the shock. Next, you'll be telling me that flat earthers have nothing to back up their claims either. Or that Reiki masters don't actually have proof of their magical healing hands.
But I don't think we need a study. We have something called discernment and observation and...
Oh my God in Christ, are you taking the piss? Yeah, you do need studies. If you want anyone but Joe Public to buy your crap, then of course you want studies. Oh, but you don't want the scientifically literate to buy what you're selling, do you? Because they never will. They actually know it's nonsense. But your average Facebook dweller, now they will buy anything. If you have some poor, misinformed, useful idiot crying about the tragedy of their child's life that they were told was definitely caused by vaccines. Not told by doctors, of course, for some reason, but all these people on the internet who got their educations at the University of Hard Knocks, probably based in Florida. So they are convinced, and will sound very convincing to your mum or your aunt or that guy from your school who didn't do very well in anything but sports ball. They are convinced by it, and there's no way that the person in the video is lying. Which, to be fair, they technically aren't, but that doesn't mean that they aren't wrong. However, that isn't really important, is it? Right isn't what you want to be. Widespread is literally the only thing that matters. You got books to sell.
Just by virtue of me being, so passionate about this topic, I happen to have come across a lot of families that...
You are interested in a thing, therefore you have seen a lot of that thing. Do I really have to explain how this works to anyone? You're looking for it. You find it. You wouldn't say that just because I'm into computer hardware, I just happen to see lots of it all the time and buy it and fiddle with it, etc. Of course that happens. It would be really, really strange if it didn't.
Fit that exact paradigm where they have older children that were vaccinated.
And that's basically selection bias. You choose to interact with anti-vax families, so you're going to see them, and then you're going to use confirmation bias to remember the ones who at least appeared to fit your criteria for vaccinated equal unhealthy, or vice versa. This doesn't prove anything, and there's a good reason you more than likely don't ever want to see these studies, because they won't bear out your experience, because when done properly, they take everything and everyone into account, not just the things you want to be true.
That are, have allergies, learning disabilities, we're seeing a massive increase in kids that have diabetes and cancers. And
no child before the invention of vaccines had any of those things. And no unvaccinated kid does either. Also, didn't you say...
whereas, their older siblings can't get over stuff that easily. They have to go to the doctor, they have to get antibiotics, they have to,
So what are the chances that these older kids getting sent to the doctors when they are sick instead of sent to the room of being in denial? So they actually get diagnosed with this stuff instead of being sent to the naturopath or holistic hoo-ha man, asked if they are vaccinated, and when they say no, they tell you the child is the healthiest they've ever seen. And that terrifying rattling cough and bloody stool is nothing to worry about. It's probably because of the 5G tower they just built over in Sri Lanka. Cover your house in tin foil infused with echinacea and he'll be fine. Possibly.
All sorts of other health issues. Whereas their unvaccinated younger siblings
have magical powers and never get sick. You know, apart from when they get sick. They get really sick. For some reason. Not sure that's related. Don't even know why I'm bringing it up. Damned current boogeyman that excuses my terrible parenting.
Have none of that. They don't have food allergies. They don't have speech delay. They don't have learning disabilities. They don't have chronic long-term illnesses. And so for me, those observations speak very loudly.
Now that is strange. They do exactly the same for me too. They scream, "This woman is full of shit! This woman is full of shit!" over and over again. Probably because of the little known fact that this woman is indeed absolutely jam-packed to the gills with copious amounts of excrement.
You know, they may be anecdotal stories. We don't have sort of like this epidemiological study to tell us.
And that, my dear, is exactly why no one should listen to you. And until we can make sure that the entire public, or at least most of it, is aware that without that kind of evidence, most claims can be safely ignored, people like me need to get busy pointing it out over and over again until we are blue in the face. I mean helmet. No, not that helmet.
But I think that because we have discernment and because we have the ability to use our own better judgment.
Better judgment? Better than who? A trained medical professional? Do you know how stupid you actually sound? I'll give you a clue. It rhymes with extremely ducking stupid. You absolute ducking moron.
It doesn't take a whole lot to see that the writing is on the wall, and unvaccinated children are a lot healthier.
Translation, and I'm going to have to translate it into smug so it comes across more accurately. I want unvaccinated children to be healthier, so I have decided that they are, and there's nothing you can do to change my mind because I am more discerning than 1,000 evidences. Nah, I am smart. Why, hello there, you terrible people, the best kind of people. It's me, Sir Sick. Could you not tell? I just wanted to remind you all to subscribe, push the bell icon, and to check out my various social media things for other equally pointless content. And more importantly, to make sure that you know when a video comes out. Recently, it seems YouTube doesn't want you to know because I am so handsome, famous, and good at the sex, and they are jealous, obviously. It really helps me out if you do, and apparently if you are notification belled up, they have reset it or something, so check them settings to make sure you're getting what you're supposed to. Hopefully we can get my numbers back up, because my self-worth is directly related to how many internet people show up on my videos. I'm sure that's completely healthy, right? Also, don't forget to panic buy Sick Brand merch, and don't forget to panic crowd support the channel. Thanks very much.